J. Michaels Show.
Welcome to another episode. Today we have a very special guest, Diana Perkins with Valdivia X, and we're going to talk and meet with them, as well as an extra guest too. So we're gonna talk and meet with them right now. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, fantastic, man! You guys look wild, and you look so crazy. I love this makeup. You did the whole makeup bit for me.
Yeah, it's all in-house done, original work. All of it is, and this is the guy that's the mastermind behind it.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
when you guys do a show, it's not just a rock and roll show. I mean, it's a presentation. It is a visual extravaganza. So tell me about putting your show together.
Well, it's fairly involved. It's taken considerable time to come up with the concept, to actually develop the masks, the attire. All of this has been painstakingly designed, and it consequently takes a certain amount of time to do each show.
Wow.
Presentation.
Wow. And that's not just the visual aspect of it, but then you got to have the music aspect of it also. So you all have to be very high quality musicians. Tell me about the instruments that you play.
Well, I have migrated from playing electronic kit originally, right? And then we kind of wanted to pare down the process a little bit more because there's a lot of parts and pieces.
Yeah.
So, and wanted us to put me front and centered kind of on stage instead of in the back. Right. So there's more animated movements, and with drums that happens, but we kind of whittled it down to a little, you'll see in the Can't Seem to Find America video, it's a box, it's a percussion, electronic percussion instrument with pads that I'm using, and that makes it more economical. But then we're going back, because of various reasons, we're going back to playing the electronic kit, which we haven't gone since COVID started. We haven't gone out there actually to do live show. So that's kind of in the works. The next, the next presentation is going to involve. So that's what I do. And then, can I use your
Chucho.
Chucho de la Muerte is stage name. He plays guitar, electric guitar, and we have tracks that he's composed and put in we use an iPod to run the music. And then we have a bass player who is not with us today, but he's another character also with some horns and some inner. So you've seen pictures of it, I'm sure. So, so that's what we do.
Okay. And then speaking of instruments, you have it's yellow, it has buttons on it. Tell me what that is and what it does.
Oh, that thing. You know what? Early on, actually, I forgot to mention, very early in our presentation, I used the Zen drum, which is this MIDI percussion instrument. And then I use that, as you know, in the Tim Russ project as well. And that's how I know you. So we kind of make this connection. It's a electronic kind of pad that I just, they're smaller pads. It's like drumming. You have bigger pads, but it's just made it smaller so that you tap with the fingers. But that's like long history for this project. It was kind of cool, but at the same time, I think we just migrated different drums,
Right.
as saw better improvements fit, and stuff. So
she's actually a really good drummer.
Mm-hmm.
And so moving her to sticks and feet just adds a whole incredible dynamic that we've been missing for years. And we've decided to go back to it. And she's really quite amazing. She really pulls it off both as a vocalist and as a drummer percussionist.
Yes, exactly, as a vocalist. And that's another aspect, is that she sings, and she is a beautiful singer. She mentioned earlier the way we know each other is the Tim Russ crew, which is Tim Russ, who was the Vulcan on Star Trek Voyager. And she's played several times with him, multiple times actually.
Yes.
And the way that we know each other is you used to do... during the pandemic, he would come on stage. He would come in his backyard, and he would play his backyard, and Diana would be there singing, and she has such a wonderful voice. Tell me about playing with Tim, the Tim Russ crew, and how that got started.
That got started years ago. I got out of fronting with cover bands, various cover bands, really good ones too. I have to say, I'm blessed to play with. And we were doing the local circuit and everything. And I got out of the 2008 crash. We had a crash back then that's similar to what COVID did to people. But anyway, that crash really just started tanking all these gigs. And I kind of went down. And then Tim was a friend of my friend that plays keyboards with the Rat Pack too, by the way, but he plays with Tim Russ. And then I'm going to the shows, and then I was like, hey, can I sit in? And that's how that started, and I got incorporated into that. I think I was playing with them for about 8 years. Something like that, more than that. Yeah, and we, went all over the place, and conventions, of course, always fun. And then we had the cruise gig, and then after that, COVID shut us all down. Everything just shut down.
Yeah.
It was really bad scene.
And do you still play together?
With Tim, I haven't, because of COVID still. I haven't. Here and there might be some gigs that come up. So we'll wait and see. It's a kind of a wait and see type situation. They were a trio before I joined, but I think I do add quite a bit to the group.
You certainly do.
It's amazing.
If I may promote myself a little bit, yeah.
COVID really had a profound effect on the music industry and bands in general. It's definitely put us on ice for 3.5 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's still a little sketchy. I think right now COVID's actually going back up again. So it's been very problematic for a lot of people, but I think the music industry has profoundly been affected by it.
Yeah. How did you get involved with Dana? How did you form this group?
It originally started in East LA, and we had been friends through the Long Beach music scene, and she came to one of our shows, and she really, really liked what we were doing, and wanted to actually sponsor us and look after us and nurture us. But then as time went on, the vocalist I was working with, unfortunately, she started coming to a point where she had a performance anxiety disorder, and became so incredibly difficult for her to perform that eventually she left the band. And then I went on solo, and in the process of doing that, Diana saw my solo project and was also interested in that. And I go, well, would you be interested in doing vocals? And so then we started out as two, and she just did an incredible job. As you know, she's an amazing vocalist.
She is.
And just an amazing percussionist, drummer as well. So we started developing that, but then we realized that we needed a bottom end. And so that's where we invited Bob Burns, who is our bass player, and he started taking on that duty and just adding that amazing bass player. So even though we do use tracks, it's very much a live band, and it's actually harder to play the tracks because if you mess up, that's it.
Yeah.
Tracks just keep going on, and you're
Exactly.
lost. So we
Right.
actually have to be even better musicians just to do tracks.
Yeah.
So we used synthesizers in the backgrounds and all kinds of percussionary effects. And so then we proceeded there. And right now, we're trying to regroup again and get out there and play again if COVID allows. We'll see. This latest uptick is definitely of concern.
Right, right. Okay, so you have this skull look, and she has this almost like kiss. You know, it's a beautiful makeup job. Tell me what each character is and what each character represents that you're displaying here.
The group initially started in East LA, and I was sitting there and I go, well, what would be kind of interesting to add to this visual? And I'm in this amazing side of town, which is very Hispanic, very Mexican. And I thought, the Day of the Dead really resonates with me. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a beautiful cultural expose of Mexico and how they deal with death and life. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to have a mariachi / Day of the Dead guitar player? Mm-hmm. And so it initially started out with that. So we added that. And obviously, as time went on, the costume began to evolve. And then Diana started taking interest in the group. And Diana was born and raised in Tokyo, Japan. And I kind of go, you come from this amazing culture. And I got to tell you, I'm a kabuki fan. And I go, wouldn't it be interesting to bring you in with this kabuki type attire and costume design? And so we began the construct of Kage, which stands for shadow in Spanish, and not Spanish, but Japanese. And so she became Kage. And so we copied a lot of the, or influenced or inspired by the kabuki visual construct.
Wow.
And so we brought that in. Bisonte, the bass player, is Sicilian. He relates to the concept of his family. How should I put it? His moniker is the bison. And so he wanted to take on this bison outlook. So we gave him horns and we gave him this incredible mask so he could identify with that side of his culture. So we just call him Bisonte.
And you said that you guys make your own mask, you develop your own makeup, you've developed the exact look and feel of this group, right?
Yes, and we've been doing this 13 years, so it's been an evolution. I think with each year, the design, the costume, the construct gets better and better, and a little significantly more developed. As well as we do as musicians. The more we play, as we begin to age, we actually become much better as musicians and as communicators.
Wow. And now tell me about how you developed your show. I mean, what are you conveying to the audience? What is it? Political? Is it just scary? Is it punk rock? I mean, what do you want visually to get across to your audience?
Well, we've been described as post-punk, goth, rock. There's definitely personal messages within the lyrics. There's also observations of what's going on with the culture. Obviously, right now, this culture is in a very strange and odd and amazing state of reality. That's quite confusing and dynamic and scary. Don't really know what's going to happen next. So a lot of the musical construct makes commentary about the state of reality in America, as well as our own personal issues that we deal with.
Right. And that brings up the song, a very popular song of yours called Can't Seem to Find America. Tell me about that song and tell me what you were thinking when you wrote it.
Well, we're going through the Trump era, which is to me, a very confusing period of time,
Hmm.
very disturbing period of time. Um, I found it particularly um, frightening, especially being of Mexican heritage,
Hmm.
that one of his followers went in El Paso and took, I believe, an AR-15 and murdered 25 people in a Walmart.
Hmm.
Uh, this type of behavior that has been dispersed throughout his followers and believers, I find deeply disturbing, um, and really the antithesis of what America tries to strive for. So the song is a commentary about this level of very disturbing behavior that we've been having to deal with for since the Trump era,
Hmm.
with the racism and the riots and significant social collapse.
Hmm.
So that particular song makes commentary about those issues.
And are you excited now that Harris is in the race?
I think Harris is definitely a step forward.
Hmm.
I'm enthused about her. I think she's a very bright, intelligent person that I believe can more than handle the situation as being the first female and black and she's also Indian. So she's really knocking down some serious situations in terms of women being allowed to positions of power. And I think the woman will smoke it through, man. She's a pretty
Hmm.
amazing. She's not pretty. She is an amazing lady, and I think she'll be just fine.
And
Um,
Diana, your culture being Oriental and now you're in America, how do you relate to all of this?
In terms of what? Oh, one thing I'll start off saying is I identify I was born in Japan, but I also had American citizenship because my
Hmm.
dad American. And I was always going to come to the US, and I identify this place as really, I mean, not to be corny, but the place where you can make things happen.
Hmm.
Still, and there's people still coming over here for that, despite all the problems. It's still a destination, to start your life, do your enterprise, whatever it is that makes you tick, you
Hmm.
know. So in that regard, I always looked upon America, but as wow, this is the place to do it. And when you make it as a band, for example, and you make it as an actor or whatever, a lot of times, I mean, it's from Americans. I mean, it might be America centric, I'm talking, but it's a lot of it's from that standpoint because, and then England, of course, has their rock stars and all this stuff too. But we still in Japan, like we still looked at the West, like America in particular, as the home of, you know, rock and roll
Right.
and the place where rules are broken and you're rebels,
Hmm.
and you don't follow necessarily the protocols, and in a very strict culture like in Japan, they're breaking the rules now, which is
Yeah.
nice to see, but it's a lot of follow the line, go in form, follow the line type thing.
Hmm.
And it's good points with that too. But one thing I wanted to say was, I was getting really bummed out because my flag, the American flag, I felt was taken away. I
Hmm.
felt like it was taken away from me. Like, I want my flag back,
Right.
and fly it as not associated with MAGA or, because they're kind of claiming it. They were taking it over, in my opinion. And that was difficult to deal with for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel
So
like the culture has been hijacked or is in some way not representative of what you believe America is?
absolutely. What happened to it? That's the song, right? I mean,
Hmm.
where is it? It's like, where is it? Where'd it go? We're doing pretty good. And we need to make improvements, but man, we went backwards,
Hmm.
you know.
I mean, literally, and that's, make America great again. I mean, it's about a step backwards. And really, I mean, there's an awful lot of people here that can't see stepping back to the 50s and 40s as being particularly in any kind of advantage for their lifestyles. In fact, it's actually damaging.
Well, to me, I
So,
mean, make America great again is like saying that it isn't great, and it is great. A better slogan would be "Make America even better," and go with that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some. Yeah,
but
I would
the
agree.
point is that they really want to step backwards.
Yeah.
When Jim Crow was the rule of law,
Hmm.
that's not acceptable.
I understand. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, Jim Crow didn't end until 1966. So we're talking about an entire period of time where people of various backgrounds were just severely denigrated
Right.
and don't really want to go back to that again.
Right. Exactly. So let's shift over to Jack Hammerman. Tell me about that song.
Well,
That's a good one.
yeah, it's good. I think as I matured from a young man into this much older man,
Hmm.
uh, I operated on a very superficial level, not taking in the full account of what it is to engage with another person, in this case, with a woman or with women. And I think as I proceeded through my 20s, that sexuality was part and parcel of what my existence was about,
Hmm.
when there's so much more to a relationship than just that.
Right.
And there's this incredible deepness that runs in a true relationship that as I matured, I began to understand that's where it's really at.
Hmm.
And that this sexual quotient that I was cultivating, although it was fun and it was through the 80s and the post-sexual revolution, we were all part of that. It's something that I would not repeat, and I would prefer to engage in a one-on-one meaningful relationship with a person.
Right. Right.
So that song is basically commentary about my superficial behavior.
Okay. And the other song I wanted to ask you about is Black and Blue. Tell me about it.
That's a good one.
Again, living here in Long Beach, we live on 7th and Alamitos area.
Mm.
Incredible disparity between East Side and West Side in terms of economics, in terms of access to jobs, in terms of any kind of social access. They're two different worlds.
Mhm.
And so this particular part of town is subject to incredible poverty, incredible issues with homelessness. And of course, what goes along with homelessness and poverty is depression. And with depression comes significant amounts of addiction.
Mhm.
So this half of Long Beach is a pretty brutal place to live.
Right.
And I actually feel that on a daily level that when I am on this part of town, you take a beating.
Hmm.
And as a result, one becomes black and blue from it. And so the song is a commentary about the disparity going on right here in Long Beach between the two halves of the city.
Hmm. Okay. I was just doing some research on you guys, and I think it was 2018. You played Austin, Texas. I wish I had known because I would love to have gone there. I'm in Waco. Tell me about that concert.
It was fun. There's a lot of people. It was Austin was first time for us to be there and played the unofficial part of Austin's South by Southwest. What an adventure. I mean, there was a different feeling there for sure than here. Here it seems a little more fragmented or something. It seemed more integrated there. The racial integration seemed to be more apparent, at least to me.
Mm.
And we're walking down the street, just videotaping people just coming up to us and talking and goofing on us, really.
Mhm.
And that was the funnest part, aside from the gig. And another side thing is that we played upstairs at, what was that? Shot bar, something shot bar, Cheers Shot Bar, I believe. And I think it was on 6th Street or something. That was the main drag. And that was really fun. They had a drum kit there, and then that was fun to play. I was in the back, so that's when all the discussion about putting me up front came about, and also the fact that we needed a bass player was born from going to South by Southwest, because we really felt like, that's just missing, and we need to find the bottom end, because we need to round out our sound and make it punchier, because it was missing the bottom. And so that was a really fun experience, I have to say. It was really cool. Texas, I love Texas. I mean, just driving through Texas was great.
The thing about Austin, too, they really support their music scene.
Yeah.
There's a very dynamic and energetic scene there. And they were having a lot of fun with these strange people from Los Angeles and this particular character.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast. They were friendly. They were supportive. It was just an amazing experience. Austin is a nice town.
It is.
Then from there we went from Las Vegas, and again, people really had fun with the characters.
Yeah, talk about for a moment what is the reaction? You walk on stage and you guys look this way, and so tell me about how people react to you.
It's, how do you put it?
They didn't know what the movie was, first of all.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because we're distant.
Yeah.
And we're on the stage. I think as an audience, I mean, there's a certain kind of safety that takes place with the distance. And there's the engagement process is from a distance.
Right.
Whereas like when we actually went out into the streets of Austin, I mean, it was one-on-one, and people were very comfortable with taking pictures, wanting autographs, wanting all these different things. We're on stage. The audience and performer dynamic is significantly different.
Right.
So I don't know if that properly explains it.
Yeah.
It's not, it's kind of like, from a point of view, it's just like, well, what is that? What's going on? And so in a lot of ways, we baffle people with our presentation.
Yeah, they don't know quite what to think.
But then out on the street, it's just like, for lack of a better word, we're like rock stars out there. And people are very, very having a lot of fun and engaging with us. So it's two different dynamics, actually.
All right.
Yeah, it is. It's a different deal. And my idea, actually, I had the idea of going to Fremont Street, because I said, let's take a detour and drive from Austin, go up north a little, go to Vegas and do the Fremont experience over there and just walk around and shoot video and that kind of thing. It turned out to be a really good idea, because why not? It's kind of on the way back, right?
Right.
So that was a lot of fun. People are just, Vegas is the place to be a little weird, with Austin.
Well, I believe that if I were in the audience and you guys walked out, my first reaction would be, okay, this is going to be cool. This is going to be great. I want to see this. And I want to hear what you guys sound like.
We need more people like you in the audience.
Yeah.
I think it's baffling for people. And it's not like the presentation is particularly warm and fuzzy, right? It orients towards a darker side and a kind of personal and social commentary, which isn't really cuddly.
Right.
So I think we deal with that dynamic with our audience.
Yeah. Do you ever get compared to other bands, your sound, your look?
No, we don't. Do you think we do? I don't think we do.
I don't know if, let me think about that. We compare ourselves to certain groups, obviously, but I don't know if anybody's.
Yeah, I can't. That's a really interesting question.
That's a good question, yeah.
Nobody's really, nobody's plugged us on one thing or another, mainly because we're a
well, you're so unique.
Different influences,
Yeah. Okay, you were telling me that you went to Austin and then you played Las Vegas. What is the furthest concert from home base that you played?
I think that's it, huh?
Yeah, that was it.
That
Austin.
was it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Coming to
we were
Texas.
planning, we were kind of wanting to go to Japan because I have friends over there that are musicians too. So, you know, I was trying to get something going, but then COVID hit right
Yeah.
around that time. And so that got shut down for now anyway. But I think the Japanese would, because I kind of know the culture, they would probably love this,
Yes.
you know, with all their, creations.
Anime and everything. They would it would fit right in.
Yeah, yeah, they would love this, I think.
Yeah.
So I'd like to try to shoot for that,
Yeah. Okay. Maybe in the future you'll get to go over there, play
Yeah,
a
it
few
would be
concerts.
nice. It would be nice. Germany would be cool because they probably dig us. You know,
Mhm.
our bass player plays with other groups and stuff too, here and there. He gets pulled in, and he says that the audiences in Europe and other places like Australia, he went to Australia and to Germany and
Mhm.
Canada, and he says they are so much more appreciative
Mhm.
audience. And he said LA is the worst audience, worst place to play because the audience is, they're not so appreciative. They're like, so what? What's next? That kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we forget that LA was one of the most profound music centers on the planet where we've seen everything
Yeah.
here. And I think there's a kind of, how should I put it? I mean, I want to be polite about our fellow Los Angeles people. There's a kind of, well, okay, seen that before, next kind of attitude here in LA, which is understandable because so much used to come through here. Now, I think the music industry on a scale of 1 to 100 has probably declined to about a 40 in terms of its vitality and in terms of its ability to create the scene that it used to. I used to do a television show back in the 80s and 90s, and it just exploded. The enthusiasm quotient was amazing. That period of time for the LA music scene was one of the most incredible I've ever experienced. It's not that anymore.
Yeah.
I think technology, I think the loss of the record industry, all of these things have taken away from the music recording industry in LA, which, yes, it would be fun to try other countries and other areas.
Yeah. Yeah. What groups influence you? What music do you like?
I would say for me, I started out with the blues. It was like with Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, and of course Hendrix. As time went on, I really got into the Sisters of Mercy, got into any Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin. There's actually just amazing young musicians these days doing incredible things as well. So I have a very eclectic and very kind of perception about the music, and you'll hear it. There's all types of influences in it. And Diana, what's
I have a lot of same kind of influences. Blues is a big deal for me, for my roots. I love Bonnie Raitt. I love Heart. I did a tribute to Ann Wilson a long time ago, and Pat Benatar and those hard rock, types, Chrissie Hynde, those types of female rockers, and of course the Zeppelins and the Black Sabbaths of the day, and then I'll go to Ella Fitzgerald too.
Right.
I love that old, just jazz, really good jazz as well. So I have a really broad range of tastes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sing the blues best. I think I'm like a poor blues singer and rock blues type singer.
Do you think because of the costumes that maybe for some audiences you're a little misunderstood until they hear you? I mean, like, do they think, oh my gosh, these guys are satanic or something, and you're really not?
No, actually, yeah, I think we're baffling on all levels for a significant amount of people. However, we just do what we do, and this is our line of expression for better or for worse. It just is what it is.
Right.
And yeah, I'm sure some people might view it as that, but obviously, in speaking to us, we're definitely not satanic. And in fact, we really want the best for the human race
Right.
and for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And the music makes commentary about that.
Right. Right. Have you ever considered maybe trying to introduce something new, a different genre, maybe country music? You're wearing a cowboy hat, I mean, or something into it that would change it or make it a little different or just be weird.
Well, it's like right now we've been on ice for like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't believe we've explored the full depth of what this particular presentation is. We're hoping to get out there more if COVID allows. My situation, I'm looking after my brother who has leukemia, and which means his immune system is really compromised.
Mm-hmm.
So me getting COVID is not going to be good for him. So we both have to be very careful about contracting anything like that when we're out there amongst the people.
Right.
And so that's been a major problem with this particular pandemic and the forward movement of this particular band.
Right. Yeah, I was just in my head while you were talking, imagining this guy with the cowboy hat and the skull could tear up a Johnny Cash tune in front of everybody and shock everyone.
That would be fun. That's actually a great idea.
We thought about that once, didn't we?
Well, actually, guess what?
Yeah.
There's actually a Facebook page called Western Gothic,
Yeah.
right? And it's Gothic, cowboy-oriented Southwest type of art presentation.
You're right. That is out there.
They really like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was really surprised to find that, and it's very well done, and people are having a lot of fun with that.
Right. Right. If you had to be pressed against the wall and someone had to tell you, just had to define your music, how would you define it?
I would basically call it's rock and roll, but at the same time, we have these deep influences in other genres, from blues to jazz to even a certain amount of classical. As I begin maturing with my compositions, all these influences start to come in just to stir it up a bit. But it's basically rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. Do you guys have CDs? Have you got an album out yet?
Yes, we do.
There it is.
There it
Yay. And where can someone get that?
Yeah, they can go on either place, valdiviax.com, which has the Bandcamp, portal, and you can buy this EP for $4.95.
Oh,
or
nice.
you can buy individual songs too. So for 99 cents, the going rate.
Yeah.
So we've got these on valdiviax.com and also the Bandcamp page, valdiviaxbandcamp.com.
Wow.
And that's what it looks like on the inside.
Yeah, that is incredible.
There's our bass player.
Yeah.
Not to mention, she also designed these incredible coffee cups.
Yep,
Oh,
I've got
cool.
these mugs. I haven't tried to put a QR code on one.
Yeah,
of those.
really, these are a lot of fun that we have as well.
This one's better because it's got all three band members. And eventually we will put this as merch, because you got to do merch on this kind of band.
So
This kind of band really needs a merchandise, see that?
Yeah, it's visual. You really need a lot of that. Have you thought about putting out
really
like
good.
a DVD of a live concert or something?
That would be good too. There's a lot of ideas that can go, and please bring them on if you come up with a good idea.
Yeah. Fantastic. Wow. Okay.
And you got a cowboy hat on.
Yeah. What's
do
that?
I? This is my signature cowboy hat. I wear it on all the shows. It hides my ugly hair.
You need to be in our band.
Yeah. I could do that. I might could strum acoustic guitar with you.
Right on.
So where would someone be able to get your merch, get your CD? What's your website?
Well, ValdiviaX.com is probably the best. It has the place to get the CD. We're still revamping the website, kind of brand new, because the old host died on us, basically. And so I'm left with nothing, and I got to dig out the archives and rebuild it. A lot of this stuff is up. The old band flyers, the old posters, the artwork is really cool. He does the graphic designers, and it's up there. And you can get the CD there. I got to do a merch page and set that up so that people can buy whatever we have.
Right.
Also, we're on Facebook, so
Oh yeah.
our Facebook page is very, really does a good job of displaying the artwork and the costume and the music.
Yeah.
So easy to get to, and graphically, it's in line.
Well,
Yeah.
on YouTube, when we post this show, under the bottom of it in the text, we'll have links to Valdivia X. We'll have your Bandcamp. We'll have the others places. So even if you can't get something right now, monitor those places because they are developing new stuff, and it will be coming your way. And
Okay.
yeah, so we'll have links where they can find everything. What's up next? Where are you going? What are you doing next? What's in the future for you?
Well, actually, we have a photo shoot on Friday with our bass player.
Mm-hmm.
What I've been doing and just really having a lot of fun is doing these short 20-second to 30, which I believe we gave you.
Mm-hmm.
You might have seen them. So I'm having a lot of fun creating these very short visual and auditory video clips.
Mm-hmm.
And so tomorrow we're getting photos of our bass player so I can go about the process of making more of these. We would like to play out live. We're considering Venice Beach. Obviously, Venice Beach really has fun with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so that hopefully before the end of summer, we can get to Venice Beach and do some shows there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then we would live stream it too from Venice Beach on the boardwalk.
That would be awesome because the rest of us who can't be in Venice Beach would love to see it.
Yeah, that would be a thing that we're going to do. We did that right before the pandemic, actually, too, and it was really fun and good. Like, that was the most success, really, in terms of receiving interaction,
It's Venice.
It's Venice Beach.
It's Venice.
We fit.
Yeah, we fit.
Well, just another question. If someone wanted an autographed EP, can you get that to them?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
And you do maybe go through your Facebook page to find it?
Yeah, they can just request it, really, on Facebook. Just send us a line and say, hey, I want the autographed CD. Yeah. And we'll send it off, snail mail, everything.
Well, I know a lot of people they're moving away from physical media and going only to like Spotify and places like that. But I'm old school. I like physical media. I want a record. I want a CD. I want to actually hold it in my hands and go, the cloud's not going to collapse one day and I'll lose it. I actually have it in my hands now. And I think that's very important, to have physical media.
Well, I mean, there is this boutique phenomena happening with vinyl again, which is awesome, right? I'm sure we enjoyed all of the artwork and the descriptions and all of that. So there is people starting to cultivate that more these days.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to ask you just real quick, Diana. How's your mom over there in Japan?
You know what? She passed away.
Oh, I did not know that.
Remember, because we didn't follow up on that, but she passed away. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was coming. I had to be there for some time.
Yeah, I remember when you were there, we were talking to each other.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that. And then there was no follow-up, but sorry about that. But anyway, so, yeah, it was coming. 91, almost 92.
I did not know that had happened, and I'm very sorry. My condolences to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So We've got the website, we've got Bandcamp, we've got Facebook, we've got other places that people can find you. What about a live venue? Do you have anything scheduled right now, or something maybe that you're hoping to get later on?
Well, right now it's going to be Venice Beach.
Right now it's Venice Beach, so we'll post that on Facebook. Probably the first way to, announce something is going to be there.
Yeah.
Right. And also the idea of playing outdoors in terms of exposure to various plague issues is obviously better. Also here in Long Beach, they have, what's that square that we play at?
Harvey Milk Plaza,
Harvey Milk Plaza, which is an open air.
free expression platform or stage.
So
That's
hopefully
kind of-
we can play there pretty soon. It's down about a mile from us, and we've played there before. So
Right.
that theoretically is in line soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you guys do
But
lasers and things like that during your show, or have images behind you?
Oh yeah, I mean, my imagination is, let's put it this way, I have no problem coming up with concepts and ideas, and for me, it's just fun. So
Right.
yeah, we could definitely see all that coming through as time progresses.
Yeah,
Cool.
that'd be great. We have a green screen. We did a green screen today for the first time. And
I know your little star map thing back there. That is so awesome. You guys in front of it with your costumes. I'm literally just sitting here going, "Wow, these guys are so cool."
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you want to tell us about your group that maybe I didn't touch on?
I think we did a pretty good job of catching it.
Pretty good job.
Good interview. Thank you much.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah. And how was your birthday?
It was fun. It was hectic. This whole week has been hectic, but my wife had some things planned. In fact, even into this weekend. But we went out to eat, and it was good. And thank you for asking.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday. I'm an old guy. Well,
We're
I
going to
guess
take it out to Texas one of these days again.
yes, we want you to come back to Texas. I want to see you live. I mean, this is just. I gotta see you live now. So when you guys head back to Austin or Texas or somewhere, play Waco where I'm at. That's okay too. But I want to see you live. That would be great. I'd also want to
You're
finally
in Waco,
meet.
Texas.
Yeah,
I'm
you
in
can
Waco. Yes.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Austin. That's a cool town.
Yeah. We have
a
a
lot of
place here in Waco called the Texas Music Cafe, and it's a place to play for people, but it's also a TV studio, and they film every concert and archive it, and it goes on YouTube and such. But you guys would be a wonderful group to have on there, because we get a lot of country singers through here, obviously. You guys would be so different and so cool. We'd love to have you.
That'd be wild.
Let us know. We'll
Let us
be
know.
there.
Yeah.
Give me a link. Shoot me a link or whatever.
Let me shoot them a link to this interview, and maybe they'll ask you to come play.
That
Right
sounds
on.
great.
All right,
Be a lot
Dana, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. It's Valdivia X. Be sure to look them up, check them out, and we will see you next time on The J. Michael Show.
Goodbye.